Chapter 356, A Battle of Fame. Not long after he left, several more figures rushed out from the sea of misty stars, chasing after Kang Qiao in his direction. At this moment, everyone knew Kang Qian's whereabouts, simply because Kang Qiao was very high profile. He stood on top of the black treasure ship with Fan Din and Little Gold, sailing through the sky in accordance with their usual speed. Not far away from them, a single disciple from both the righteous and demonic sects followed. Kang Qian's speed wasn't very fast, so these people were able to keep up, and they transmitted Kang Qian's whereabouts at any time, through the communication jade slips, to those Misty Star Sea powerhouses. In this way, those powerhouses were able to know Kang Qian's exact location. Of course, Kang Qian's high profile like this naturally caused many people to be suspicious. Looking at his leisurely appearance, he doesn't seem to be worried at all. What kind of backbone does this guy have? Although the righteous Dao has also come with quite a few strong people, apart from the heavenly Dao sect, it's expected that there will be very few who will help him. After all, the dawn-breaking immortal order has a very strong appeal. Some Devil Dao cultivators were talking. In the middle of the sky, Kang Qiao, Brahma Din, and Zijin stood leisurely at the prow of the ship. Their expressions were indifferent as they admired the scenery of the king's land. Not far away, many disciples of the righteous and devilish sects followed closely. There were even some devil disciples who didn't hide their forms at all, directly revealing themselves, riding the treasure ship and following behind Kang Qiao. For these devil disciples who followed him openly, Kang Qiao acted as if he didn't see them, and remained blandly enjoying the scenery around him, chatting and laughing with Fan Din and Zijin. Seeing this state of affairs, those who were secretly hiding the strongest members of the righteous and devilish sects also revealed their whereabouts and followed Kang Qiao openly. In this way, behind Kang Qiao, there was immediately a large black crowd following him, and some arrogant devil disciples even took out their treasure ships and directly followed Kang Qiao from far away. These guys are really not afraid of death. Zijin glanced at those tails behind him and sneered. Heh, this time we're really going to be famous in the cultivation world. Van Din laughed. As soon as Little Gold heard about the fame of the cultivation realm, his eyes lit up, and he said to Kang Qiao, "Brother, those invincible wastrels of the out of body stage will be handed over to me later. Don't intervene." When Brahma Heart heard this, the corner of his mouth twitched. What do you mean by out of body stage invincible wastes? Aren't you damn well invincible at the out of body stage yourself? But thinking about Zijin's fighting strength, he shook his head breathlessly. There was no comparison to this pervert. Got it. On the side, Kang Qiao blankly glanced at Little Gold. This guy was very interested in being famous. He hadn't really seen it before. Little Gold got Kang Qian's consent and immediately had an excited look on his face. He stared with a pair of big eyes, fiercely staring at the black pressurized crowd following closely behind him, and roared, "You little brats of the Devil's Path, do you have the guts to come over here and fight?" Kang Qiao and Brahma Din were speechless. Those Devil Dao cultivators in the back also couldn't help but be stunned. Then they still ignored Zijin and continued to follow Kang Qiao. Anyway, they were only responsible for delivering the message. The matter of the battle, they couldn't care less. After all, Kang Qian's strength was there to be able to be called the first person under the outbreathing stage Great Perfection Powerhouse. Besides the outbreathing stage Great Perfection Powerhouse, who else would dare to fight Kang Qiao? You bunch of gutless guys. Look at you, you're also a gutless spawn. ... Seeing these people were indifferent, Zijin couldn't help but curse. The corner of Fan Xin's mouth twitched. He felt that after leaving the spirit sealing space, Zijin's character had changed a lot. Although in the past, Zijin was also very irritable, but he didn't know these civilized words of cursing. Kang Qian's face was crawling with black lines, twisting his head, looking like he didn't recognize Zijin. "Grandson, The grandsons of the Devil's Way have the guts to come out and fight with Master Monkey for 300 rounds. ... You bunch of pussies, dare to fight with Grandpa. Zijin cursed even more fiercely. Kang Tia and Fan Ding glanced at each other and couldn't help but laugh bitterly. Then they both walked into the cabin. Originally, Zijin was still a bit wary of Kang Tia. At this time, he saw Kang Tia and Fan Ding leaving. Immediately cursed even more ferociously, he rushed behind him. Those who followed the devil's path, cultivators shouted, "You this group of grandsons, come to bite me Monkey Master is standing here. There are eggs on the Monkey Master to come to fight with Monkey Master. Have no balls to come to the land of kings to mix the fart Go home to have a baby. A group of pussies." I don't know where Zijin learnt these words from, cursing those Devil Dao cultivators behind him, a face as black charcoal. This damn monkey. Just a spirit pet. How dare he be so arrogant? Wait for oldest brother to come. Let's see how arrogant you still dare to be. A group of Devil Dao disciples were filled with anger. They Devil Dao cultivators. All of them were unruly people. Where could they endure this kind of abuse from Zijin? If they weren't afraid of Kang Tion's strength, they would have rushed up. What are you looking at? If you have balls, come and fight Master Monkey. What? You think you can kill all me with your eyes? Go home and carry your children. Little Gold stood at the bow of the boat, glaring and cursing at those Devil Dao cultivators. After cursing, Zijin cocked his head and thought, does this kind of provocation work? That old bastard Dan Huang won't lie to Master Monkey, right? If he dares to lie to Master Monkey will go back and pull out his mustache, humph. Dare these curse words are Dan Huang imparted to him. I do not know, the heavens know. How should it feel? Rabbit cubs ... double quote. Zijin still wanted to curse again, but a powerful breath came to his face, interrupting his words. Among the crowd at the back, a powerful figure rushed out at this moment, exuding a disdainful aura, and the Devil Dao cultivators around this person dispersed, as if they couldn't endure this powerful aura. Emperor Dan really didn't lie to me. Little Gold stared at this person, golden light flickering in his eyes, his face full of battle intent. This was a middle-aged man, wearing a black robe. This kind of clothing was the type favored by the disciples of the Devil Sect. And the Poison Sect, however, this person had a stalwart face, and his eyes were filled with a domineering light. There was no sinister light like that of the Poison Sect's disciples, so he should have been a Devil Sect powerhouse. A mere spirit pet. How dare you underestimate my Devil Dao powerhouses? If it wasn't for your master's presence, you would have died 10,000 times over. This person glared at Little Gold, his face full of disdain. His words invigorated the group of Devil Dao disciples behind him, and each of them glared proudly at Zijin. Grandson, if you have the guts to come over and fight, what kind of a good man is shouting here? Zijin sniffed and cursed. The man almost spat out blood in anger at his words, pointing at Zijin and unable to speak. Thinking, wasn't it you who had been yelling and cursing all this time? A little bit of cultivator's temperament is not there. If not for the concern of Kang Tion's strength, he would have rushed up to kill Zijin. So it's still a seedless spawn. Don't dare to fight with the Monkey Master. Get off, less standing here and getting in the way. Zijin continued to curse. You ... Me, Demon Sect Knight Wuxia. Challenge you. Have the balls to go one-on-one. Li Wuxia finally couldn't stand it anymore and yelled at Zijin. A crowd of Devil Dao powerhouses cheered and shouted loudly to cheer on Li Wuxia. One-on-one. So you're afraid of my brother? Don't worry. My brother won't bully the small with the big yet. Master Monkey can clean you up by himself. Zijin smiled disdainfully, but in his heart, he thought, that old man Dan Huang was right. These Devil Dao powerhouses have wild tempers. As long as they yell and curse, they will be able to lure them out. Good ... Light up your magic treasure. Li Wuxia sniffed and rushed up to the sky, floating high in the air, coldly looking at Zijin. Seeing that someone had challenged Zijin, Kang Qiao also stopped the black treasure ship. In fact, he and Fan Dim were inside the cabin and had been watching the situation outside through their divine thoughts. Li Wuxia, I've heard of it. An invincible powerhouse at the outbreathing stage. But he's only been promoted for a short while, a genius of the demon sect. But he's definitely not a match for Zijin, Van Din said with a bashful face. Having seen Zijin's strength, he wasn't worried about Zijin at all. Unless the other party's outbreathing stage Grand Circle powerhouse, Kang Qiao secretly watched. In fact, he also let Zijin be like this. He knew that the Vira Divine Monkey Clan had a very violent character. Therefore, constant battles would be of great use to Little Gold's honing, and might promote Little Gold's enhancement. Cut the crap. Master Monkey's pair of fists are enough to smash you to death. In the sky, Little Gold stormed up like running thunder, raising a pair of golden fists and rushing towards Li Wuxia. Little Gold said battle. There was no nonsense at all. He swung both fists and blasted towards Li Wuxia, blazing fists, shattering the void, carrying a terrifying might that enveloped the entire heaven and earth. The onlookers from both the righteous and demonic sects of cultivators retreated one after another, somewhat difficult to resist this terrifying pressure. Li Wuxia, who was in the center, his eyebrows moved, a trace of surprise flashed in his eyes. It seemed that he did not expect Zijin to be so strong, and he immediately became a bit grave and took it seriously. Invincible at the out-of-body stage. No wonder it's so arrogant, humph. Li Wuxia snorted coldly. He pushed both of his palms flatly. A fierce demonic chair, surging out like a mountain, following his palms, rushing towards the front. The demonic chair filled the entire sky. The earth was dim, and the surroundings were filled with a depressing aura. Worthy of being Li Wuxia in the Devil Sect. He's a top 10 ranked genius. If it wasn't for his cultivation time period, the Immortal Execution ranking would have a place for him. This monkey asked for it. The crowd of Devil Dao cultivators marveled in admiration. All of them thought that Little Jin was not a match for Li Wuxia, after all. Compared to Li Wuxia, Little Jin did not have much fame in the orthodox devil battlefield. Of course, if they knew that Dark Vira Suncha had died at the hands of Little Jin, they wouldn't think so. Unfortunately, Dark Vira's death had long been pressed into Kang Qiao's hands. And apart from some people on the Killing Island, very few people knew that it was Zijin who had killed Sun Che. Evil Dragon Secret Code. Dragon Slaughter 3 Forbiddance. As the crowd marveled, Li Wuxia's might increased again as he roared. 3 black dragons rushed out from behind him, forming a forbiddance killing formation that suppressed the rushing Little Jin. At once, the void was forbidden, and an unspeakable pressure filled the surroundings. Everyone was shocked and retreated, retreating 100 miles away to watch the battle. On the other hand, Little Gold, who was in the center, smiled coldly as he raised a pair of golden fists and roared, Force Shock, 64 times. While striking out the fighting fist, Zijin also used the Force Quake. With the amplitude of the Force Quake, Zijin's fighting fist exerted great power, and with just one punch, it shattered Li Wuxia's killing formation, and even the 3 black dragons were pulverized to pieces. Unbearable. In Li Wuxia's stupefied gaze, Zijin let out a long arrogant whistle, and blasted his fist on his chest with a terrifying power that penetrated through Li Wuxia's body, heavily hitting the Yuanying in his body. Li Wuxia's face instantly turned white, a mouthful of blood spurted out, and his entire body flew out backwards. Truly unbearable. There are still those with or without balls. Come out and fight, trash don't come. After Zijin's punch heavily injured Li Wuxia, he did not take advantage of the victory, but stood at the bow of the boat, proudly shouting. The surroundings were silent, a ravenous silence. No one spoke, and many people's eyes were filled with shock, incredulity, and other colors. Li Wuxia was defeated, and he was defeated so quickly and completely. This was out of everyone's expectation. No one thought that Little Gold was so strong. If Kangxia, they wouldn't have been so surprised. But Little Gold was nothing more than a spirit pet by Kangxian's side.